Now that is why this game is a masterpiece. That's it. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm kidding. Okay, so let's settle this right now. Final Fantasy X isn't just one of the best JRPGs ever made. It's a game that somehow gets better with age, even if Tidus' outfit hasn't changed at all. Get that shit out of here, man. It's a fucking sin. Get it? Sin? Laugh with me, man. In my opinion, this was Square at their absolute peak, taking everything that worked about classic Final Fantasy and dragging it and screaming into the modern era with full voice acting and breathtaking visuals, for 2001. And if you turn on your PlayStation 2 and play this game again, you will see how beautiful this game is. The animation, the facial expressions, everything is just so good. Or just take a look at YouTube, man. Final Fantasy X on PS2, and you will see why this game is beautiful. And of course, don't forget the story that will punch you right in the feels when you least expect it. So beware, if you are going to play this game, you are gonna feel empty after playing this game. And that is quite the best and the worst feeling for a gamer. So in this game, you will play as Tidus, the most emotionally unstable blitzball player in history, who gets yeeted into a world where religion is basically an MLM scheme. Giant monsters are the IRS, and everyone hates his deadbeat dad. Along the way, you will meet Yuna, the walking definition of "I can fix her, but should I?" and Auron, who is basically the cool uncle who shows up with a beer and life advice, but not the best life advice you will ever get. And Wakka, who starts off racist but gets better, character development and some shit like that in this game, which is kinda rare in most games nowadays. What makes Final Fantasy X special isn't just its story though. It's how everything comes together, from the gameplay, audio, visuals, storytelling. Did I say story again? So as someone who has played through Final Fantasy X multiple times over the years, I can confidently say its gameplay systems hold up remarkably well today. While the graphics and voice acting, show their age, the core mechanics offer a depth and satisfaction that modern RPGs often lacked. Let me break down exactly what makes this game so special to me while also acknowledging its flaws. Combat system. It is turn-based. FF10 combat system represents the pinnacle of traditional turn-based JRPG design. Unlike later entries in the series that adopted action elements, this game gives you complete control over every decision. The turn order display at the top of the screen is genius. Being able to exactly when each character and enemy will act allows you for real strategic planning. And what I love most is how the game forces you to use your entire party effectively. Each character serves a distinct purpose in battle. Tidus handles fast, agile enemies, Wakka deals with flying foes easily, Auron crushes armored opponents, Lulu destroyed magic-resistant enemies. And the ability to swap party members mid-battle without penalty keeps every encounter fresh. Later RPGs that lock you into a set party feels restrictive by comparison. For example, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Final Fantasy XVI, Final Fantasy XII. When playing Final Fantasy VII, even I wish that you can swap party members mid-battle, and I know it will be very good if you can do that. And the overdrive system in this game adds another layer. Each character's unique limit break requires different inputs, from time button presses to slot machine style reels. That said, I do think the early game moves too slowly. The first few hours are painfully basic in terms of combat options, and it takes too long for the Spira Grid to open up meaningful customizations. And speaking of Spira Grid might just be my favorite character progression system in any RPG. At first glance, it appears overwhelming, a massive web of interconnected nodes, but that's exactly what makes it so rewarding. Early on, each character follows a clear path that reinforces their role, but as you progress further, you gain the freedom to branch out in fascinating ways. By the end game, you can turn Yuna into a physical attacker, make Tidus learn black magic, create hybrid builds that break traditional RPG archetypes. The Expert Spira Grid in the HD Remaster takes this flexibility even further. So good, man. So good. I particularly enjoy planning my route through the grid, hoarding key spheres for crucial upgrades. That moment when you finally unlock an ultimate ability after hours of preparation is incredibly satisfying. However, The system isn't perfect. The original Sphere grid can feel too restrictive until late game, and the lack of proper build option means mistakes can be costly. I also wish the expert grid was available from the start rather than being a remastered edition. But that's just my complaint about the gameplay. And once you completed the main story, Final Fantasy X reveals the truth that the optional content offers some of the most challenging and rewarding experiences in the series. Dark Aeons that will test your mastery of the combat system, the infamous monster arena that requires capturing every fiend, and ultimate weapons with excruciating but ultimately satisfying unlock conditions. While I appreciate the challenge, some of the requirements go too far, like 200 lightning dodges and 0.0 chocobo rays are more frustrating than fun. These feel like artificially difficult spikes rather than genuinely tests of skills. But still, after all these years, Final Fantasy X remains one of my favorite RPGs because of how well its gameplay systems hold up. The strategic combat and sphere grid progression create an experience that's both accessible and deeply rewarding for those who invest the time. While I have complaints, the slow starts, some tedious side content, the dated presentations elements, these are just minor compared to what the game gets right. In an era where RPGs have sacrificed depth for accessibility, Final Fantasy X stands as a reminder of how satisfying turn-based combat and meaningful character progression can be. I mean, it's not just nostalgia. This is genuinely one of the best designed JRPGs ever made. If you can look past its dated elements, you will find the gameplay that's put many modern titles to shame. Again, this is not perfect. Let's talk about the audio. The voice acting is of its time. Yeah, we all know that love. Some animations haven't aged gracefully, and the HD remaster decided to keep all the most sadistic minigames intact. Like I said, 200 lightning dodges, 0.0 second chocobo rays, whatever it is. But damn, when the soundtrack hits, the soundtrack remains, oh my god, remains the absolute masterpiece from Nobuo Uematsu.
Listen to my story.
It is just perfection. Honestly, Final Fantasy X represents the perfect sweet spot where technology caught up to Square's ambition. The pre-rendered backgrounds are still gorgeous, and the summons remain jaw-dropping spectacles, and that moment when the opening chords of 2 Zanarkand hit, instant chills man, instant chills. It's a game that respects your time and your intelligence. Challenging but fair, emotional but never manipulative, complex but never convoluted. So, is it still worth playing today? Absolutely. In fact, I would argue it's most important now than ever, because as a reminder of what RPGs used to be before everything went open world and action focused. It's the last Final Fantasy where numbers and strategy mattered more than reflexes, where progression felt earned rather than handed to you, and where every character in your party actually served a purpose. And yeah, Blitzball is still the best sports minigame ever made. No, it's not. I hate that shit. Get out of here, man. Get out of here. Bring me a mod that will cut all the Blitzball minigame. Bring it, like right now. So yeah, Final Fantasy X isn't just a classic, it's a masterpiece.